Recently, sinkholes have received a lot of media attention. They serve as a powerful reminder of how quickly nature can take away what it has given. How big can these incredible natural structures get? Some can destroy entire buildings or carve out enormous caves supporting their ecosystems. A sinkhole is a dip in the earth caused by the collapse of the surface layer. Sinkholes can be caused by natural processes such as cave roof collapses, the erosion of bedrock that is slightly soluble through percolation, or by lowering of the water table. Today we are going to talk about the most dangerous sinkholes across the world, so let's start. Number 6. Devil's Sinkhole. A large vertical gap in the limestone bedrock in the far western extremities of the Edwards Plateau is appropriately named the Devil's Sinkhole, named as such to evoke its ominous depths as otherworldly appearance. Water from the sky fell to the earth almost 1 million years ago, where it absorbed minerals and slightly acidified the soil as it sank. The delicate limestone of the Edwards Plateau was eaten away by this corrosive water. Over time, it created a vast hole in the rock. The Devil's Sinkhole itself is the main draw at the Devil's Sinkhole SNA. The state's most enormous sinkhole-chambered cavern is circular, up to 60 feet wide at the opening and 350 feet deep, making it the third deepest cavern in the country. 1 to 4 million Mexican free-tailed bats spend their summers at the sinkhole these days. Visitors can start seeing a few bats emerge from the sinkhole at dusk and watch them grow into a vast, black swirling mass of bats flying into the night sky. The National Park Service listed the Devil's Sinkhole as a National Natural Landmark in 1968. The region was given to the state of Texas in 1985, and it was made accessible to the public in 1992. Number 5. The Berezniki Sinkhole. The city of Berezniki in Russia's Ural Mountains is slowly sinking into the earth. The city of more than 150 individuals was built directly on top of a potash mine, which was standard practice during Soviet times. After nearly a century of extraction, deep voids were left underneath the city. The ceilings of these huge underground caverns are supported only by walls of pillars of soluble salt. In 2006, when a freshwater spring began flowing in the mine some 720 to 1,500 feet below the surface, it dissolved the supporting pillars, and the city came crashing down. The city has several sinkholes, which have an impact on a sizable portion of the residential areas and commercial areas. The largest of these, known as the Grandfather, is more than 650 feet deep and about 1,300 feet across. Due to the city's remote position, the first sinkhole did not affect it when it was originally formed in 1986. However, the city itself saw another sinkhole 20 years later. Flooding the mine was supposed to be the solution, but since the salt dissolves so readily in water, it made things worse. There are currently 10 sinkholes, which are displacing residents. City officials worry that others will happen spontaneously and threaten the lives of some of the citizens. Number 4. Cave of Swallows. In San Luis Potos, Mexico, there is a massive sinkhole called the Cave of Swallows. It is a huge beast that is more than 1,200 feet deep and about 196 feet wide. The enormous hole is the second largest known cave shaft in the world due to its epic size. Like a portal to the center of the earth, the Eiffel Tower could easily fit inside it and still have plenty to spare because it is enormous. Extreme sports enthusiasts and explorers alike frequently visit the Cave of Swallows. Mexican free-tailed bats prefer the cave because it is chilly and dark, making it their preferred hangout. Other bird species have made this cave their home, building nests on the cave walls and sides. According to experts, this natural landmark has karst origins and is home to thousands of swifts, parrots, and other species. The limestone was sculpted by water over millions of years, resulting in the formation of the cave. It was mostly unknown to the typical Mexican prior to 1966, when researchers from the University of Texas made their first discovery, despite how absurd it may appear. As one of Mexico's 13 natural marvels, the location was designated a natural protected area in 2001. Number 3. Sinkhole of Guatemala City. Guatemala City has an extremely high and unpredictable risk of sinkholes. An area measuring 65 feet broad and 300 feet deep, fell on May 30, 2010, creating the Guatemala City sinkhole, which swallowed a 3-story factory. Guatemala City has experienced sinkholes in the past. 3 people and 12 dwellings here mysteriously vanished into the ground in 2007. However, nobody was ready for something like this. What's the reason behind the sinkhole? In most cases, sinkholes are brought on by the subsurface water sources or rivers that erode bedrock and result in the collapse of the ground above. However, because Guatemala City is mostly constructed of flimsy materials like volcano pumice, its sinkholes often spring up suddenly, giving residents little time to flee. Sinkholes typically develop in karst terrain, which is dotted with pockets of easily eroded materials like gypsum and limestone. Rainwater collects some carbon dioxide as it moves through the atmosphere, turning it into a weak acid that easily erodes limestone and gypsum deposits. A sewer line beneath the city leaked, causing the earth above it to progressively erode. Later, whenever Tropical Storm Agatha struck and flooded the sewer system, the process accelerated. Around 175 people died in this sinkhole. Number 2. Great Blue Hole. A large underwater sinkhole off of Belize's coast is called the Great Blue Hole. It is located close to the middle of the Lighthouse Reef, a small atoll 62 miles from Belize City's mainland. The Great Blue Hole is a section of the Belize Barrier Reef Reserve System that was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1996. It is situated close to Lighthouse Reef, some 43 miles off the coast of Belize. About 150,000 years ago, a limestone cave began to form inside the Blue Hole. The caves were gradually inundated when the glacial period ended and the cave's roofs collapsed, creating this unusual opening. French explorer Jacques-Yves Cousteau made the hole well known by naming it one of the top 10 diving destinations in the world. When viewed from above, the hole's dark blue hue denotes a significant depth, especially when contrasted with the neighboring shallow seas. At 406 feet, it reaches its deepest point. The 984-foot-wide hole is almost perfectly round. Number 1. Qattara Depression. There are several desert sinkholes in Egypt. The enormous Qattara, west of Cairo, Egypt, is the world's largest natural sinkhole, measuring 49 miles long and 74 miles broad. The scale and eerie aspect of this hazardous, sludge-filled quicksand pit are stunning. Recently, experts have tried to construct a $360 million project that would harness the Qattara for total energy independence. The 436-foot-deep sinkhole has been used in war before. According to the idea, a ditch would need to be dug from Qattara's edge to the Mediterranean, and a tunnel would then let the water gently fill the sink. The heat of the desert would then evaporate further water flow once the new lake reached a size that rivaled Lake Erie. They are essentially certain that it would. The almost unfathomably large Qattara hole is entirely natural. It was created when strong winds tore into the slimy salt beds all the way to the water table. That is all for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.